The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Arwen Reyes stepped forward, her weathered combat boots echoing against the crystalline floor. Behind her, Commander Ilo Chen stood rigid, his scarred hands clasped behind his back. 7 expeditions, 7 warnings, and now, the Zephyrians had taken the 9th. Honored representatives, Arwen began, her voice cutting through the tension like a plasma blade. 3 solar cycles ago, Earth issued its final ultimatum. Return our people or face the consequences. She paused, letting her gaze sweep across the assembled alien dignitaries. You chose to ignore us. The Zephyrian delegate, a towering creature of shifting geometric patterns, pulsed with indignation. Humans are primitives. Your species barely discovered FTL travel a decade ago. You dare threaten the Zephyrian hegemony? Alo stepped forward, producing a small metallic cube from his pocket. The council members recoiled instinctively. Primitives? He smiled coldly. Let me tell you about primitives. My grandfather fought wars with projectile weapons. My father saw the first Mars colony, and he activated the cube, projecting a holographic star map. I commanded the ship that mapped your entire defensive grid in 72 hours without detection. The revelation sent ripples of disbelief through the chamber. The Zephyrians' patterns flickered erratically. Impossible. Our stealth detection systems are based on quantum resonance signatures, Arwen interrupted. Technology you stole from the Andromedans 4 centuries ago. We know because we don't just adopt technology, we dissect it, improve it, and find its weaknesses. She nodded to Alo, who expanded the projection. Red dots began appearing across Zephyrian space. Hundreds, then thousands. Each represented a human stealth probe, undetected for months, documenting everything. Military installations, civilian populations, energy signatures, communication protocols. The Zephyrians had been living in a glass house, unaware they were being watched. You took our explorers because you saw weakness. Arwen continued, her voice dropping to barely above a whisper. 7 peaceful expeditions, scientists and diplomats seeking friendship. You saw our olive branches as signs of frailty. She pulled up images of the missing humans, young faces full of hope and curiosity. But here's what you didn't understand about humanity. The chamber's atmospheric processors hummed in the silence that followed. We evolved on a death world, Ilo said, taking over seamlessly. Predators, diseases, natural disasters. Earth tried to kill us every single day. We survived by being 2 things simultaneously: hopelessly optimistic dreamers and absolutely ruthless survivors. We sent our dreamers to you. Now you get to meet the survivors. The Valtirian ambassador, ancient and wise, spoke for the first time. Surely you don't mean to suggest war? Arwen laughed, but there was no humor in it. No, honored Valtirian. War implies both sides have a chance. She gestured, and the hologram shifted, showing Zephyrian defensive satellites going dark one by one. Not destroyed, simply turned off. 40 minutes ago, every defensive system in Zephyrian space experienced a synchronized shutdown. Your fleets are grounded. Your shields are offline. Your communications are severed. Panic erupted in the chamber. The Zephyrian delegates' form began rapidly shifting between configurations, their species equivalent of hyperventilation. This is an act of aggression. The Council will do nothing, Ilo stated flatly, because in exactly 10 minutes those systems will reactivate. No damage, no casualties. A demonstration. He looked directly at the Zephyrian. We could have destroyed you. Instead, we chose to embarrass you. That's the difference between humans and your hegemony. Arwen pulled up another display, a massive human fleet, previously hidden, emerging from subspace just outside Zephyrian territory. Dreadnoughts that dwarfed anything in the hegemony's arsenal, surrounded by swarms of fighters that moved with impossible coordination. 100,000 vessels, she announced, built in secret in the outer rim of our system. Each one carries what we call a Prometheus package, our entire technological and cultural database. If you destroy us, 100,000 human colonies will scatter across the galaxy like seeds. In a generation, there won't be one Earth to deal with, there will be thousands. The weight of the revelation crushed the room's arrogance. The mighty Zephyrian hegemony, terror of 17 systems, had been outmaneuvered by a species they'd dismissed as barely sapient. But here's the beautiful part, Arwen said, her tone shifting to something almost gentle. We don't want to be your enemies. Those 100,000 ships? They're not just warships. They're also hospitals, agricultural vessels, research stations, and cultural exchange centers. The same technology that shut down your defenses could upgrade them to be impervious to any known weapon. The choice is yours. Alo deactivated the hologram. Our people, all 237 members of the 7 expeditions, will be returned within 1 solar day, unharmed. After that, you can choose friendship with humanity or isolation from it. But know this, his eyes hardened, there won't be a 9th expedition. Next time we won't send dreamers. The Zephyrian delegates' form had stabilized into something resembling defeat. And if we refuse? Arwen and Elo exchanged glances. Then every species in this galaxy will know that the mighty Zephyrian hegemony was brought to its knees by a bunch of primitives who've been spacefaring for less than 50 years. Arwen replied. Your choice. Return our people and gain an ally who could revolutionize your civilization, or keep them and become a cautionary tale about underestimating humanity. 8 hours later, the first shuttle arrived at Earth's orbital station. As the rescued expedition's members stepped onto human soil, many broke down crying. Among them, a young xenobiologist clutched a Zephyrian data pad, a gift from their former captors, containing an invitation for technological exchange. Arwen watched from the observation deck as Alo coordinated the stand-down of the fleet. Think they learned their lesson? He asked. She smiled, this time with genuine warmth. They learned that humans are insane enough to forgive, brilliant enough to infiltrate their entire civilization undetected, and crazy enough to turn enemies into friends. She turned to him. But mostly they learned that when humans say final ultimatum, we mean it. The Galactic Council records would later describe this as the day the galaxy learned humanity's most terrifying trait. They were just as capable of mercy as they were of annihilation. And sometimes it was impossible to tell which was more frightening.